Okay. First of all, I just want to start off by saying thank you, God. And I have to be saying that because this low life, the way they live, the easy evilness of these perps participating in what's happening to target individual is just comical, clown. They're just clowns and people who have who I don't know at this point. At least for me, I don't even understand why they even try to act a certain way and try to gaslight me. I mean, I know gaslighting sounds a little bit too simplistic. Obviously, it's more than a gaslighting, more of a psyop. But the gaslighting methods is applied in this more industrialized, systematic way, where they truly want you to identify with these things, and they have no shame. They, with me at least, what I would say no shame is I made it clear that I know what you're doing, and it sounds just like what I'm saying. It's obvious that you're trying to break me down and make me accept it and make me identify to something I'm not. And I know that this is a tactic that is done to gaslight, right? And it's a systematic tactic to really try to make somebody identify with something that is not true, that is trying to paint somebody in a falsified way, and they act accordingly, and it's very orchestrated in a certain way, and is organized in a certain way, and is put in a way that for you to accept this, because the truth is this: you are just a test subject. You have to accept that. Target video, unfortunately, what's happening to us is way bigger than just us. The disturbingness of at least in my case, these clowns of human subject, sorry, the clowns of this human trash that are the perps. Their job is to confuse you, and it makes no sense. It's so full of bullshit, and it's so obviously they're distorting the reality in a big way. You know, I heard somebody say something about wait, this is exposure, and then they change the subject. No, you're gonna be exposed. So okay, whatever's gonna happen. I know I'm not being exposed. I'm being manipulated. I'm being changed, and you want me to identify with the changes. And they do very foul things to men, women, and children. You'll see coming up a video of me in this working office environment, and it was so obvious. You know, it becomes so systematic, and the way these perps act with these ways of walking, with this swagger, and just being animated and doing like different signs, try to act certain ways, because what happened is, as a target individual, I'm a target individual dealing with what this technology can do to the brain. I know that my brain is being altered and manipulated in so many ways, and they can make me experience all kind of reaction and sensation stimulations. Once I'm getting manipulated in this fashion, you see these perps start acting a certain way. It is theatrical. They want this theatrical ways of reacting to make you believe, like, oh, they're so confident because it's so, we caught you doing this, it's so obvious. And you see them walking in certain ways and acting this way. It was amazing to see that in real time when I was in the office and I was recording. This person was walking in a certain ways and try to add this like confidence that, you know, he's just acting this way for you to be like, oh my gosh, he's walking like this, he's being super animated, you know, saluting everybody, walking this way, just because he wants to think that, oh my gosh, we just map this out, we just. And when they say this map this out, it's just a verbiage they use to not say that I'm being altered to experience that. And they act as, it's so obvious. It's obvious that you're being altered. They want you to I don't know, but they really want you. And this man doing that, I was like, oh my gosh, I've never, like, this is exactly what I've been saying. I was in a room, you'll see in the video coming up, and there was a work, and there was a presentation, and there was a young child, maybe 5, 4, or maybe 6 at the max. And this little girl was there. Like I said in many of my videos, when I see little girls, they force me to get sexual stimulation, especially little black girls, but any little girls, whatever race it is. They're making me think this, not even make me think, they gave me a sexual stimulation that was so intense. I felt it immediately. It was just pure sexual stimulation that they forced me to experience. Just extreme, and when I mean pure, like just strictly like stimulation. Now they started then adding some thought process to go with the sexual stimulation to make me accepting of this sexual stimulation. It's so nasty, right? In my brain, they just all pure, like in this, they're just flipping things around. But they have this fashion of doing this manipulation. They can make you have just strictly sexual stimulation, purely libido stimulations. No thought manipulation, just stimulation, just crank up, like they turn up like your libido, just boom, just purely that. But sometimes when they make you have this sexual stimulation, they start manipulating my thought process with this sexual stimulation to make you acceptive of this sexual stimulation. So initially, they just did this pure sexual stimulation where it's just 100% just the libido being cranked up. Then they start going through my head, they start manipulating my thought process. Now, this is the thought that's how you felt when you were a kid, like some kind of manipulation to go with the sexual stimulation. And I was in a room with all these perps, and they all knew that was going to happen. And I can see the person presenting, it's like, yeah, explain that. They have these ways, because when I make videos, they think I'm explaining. I'm just putting the things in their faces. Because as gaslighting, their job is to make you acceptive of this manipulation. That's why later on, when I get back to my seat, I see this man just walking because he saw this, it was a match. He started walking himself in certain ways. He started just doing, it's like, oh, we caught you. Yeah, you see. And he was acting this way, in this theatrical way, for the sole purpose to make me think, oh, because I'm walking this way. I was like, we just caught you. We didn't force you to get sexual stimulation. It was a matching. They use different language. Matter of fact, the man that was presenting, he was saying, oh, yeah, well, it maps down. Basically, they map my brain to match me when I'm a child. So when I was and then he's like, it's not fair, right? It's not fair. We're making your brain be the brain of a child of you when you're a child. Not fair. It's like, now you are forcing my brain to have sexual reaction toward these babies. And then you want to gaslight me to identify with these manipulations. These trash are low life. They are low, nasty trash because they're opportunistic. And so as they want to enjoy this opportunity that they get, these opportunities they get out of using me or participating in what's happening to me, they want to make themselves believe in this fantasized reality where they're protecting children. But the truth is they obviously know my brain is being manipulated. They are trying to gaslight me into accepting this manipulation. But because they're doing that, knowing that even though I don't identify with that, in their mind, they're going to start creating this fantasized reality. We're doing it for our kids. When the truth is they're just opportunists. I'm working in a certain vertical that a human subject will probably be beneficial for them in so many ways. That perhaps it can help the business I'm in. For having somebody like me, who's a guinea pig, a test subject for these governmental entities, are there for them to also partake and maybe get something out of this. Whatever it is. You know, it's not far-fetched that these people in this vertical will get something out of it. But I'm sure even if I was not in that vertical, the benefits are majestic and immense. Controlling human beings is full control of my brain to make me experience all kind of reaction they want me to have. And that was just you'll see the video. It's so obvious. Now I'm back to the apartment. I'm hearing there's a contrast between when I'm in the office, there's more intellectuals, at least more adult maturity, but still foul because they are gaslighting. They're just childlike. They just turn into children. Then I get here, and here there's just pure retardation. Children-like individual. They're just so delusional. It's just like it becomes like like comical. It's so gone. It's just so obvious that it's just okay. They're just basically this retard that they're using. Like childlike people. You don't even respect them. It's just they're completely retarded. And they're still like, no, it's gonna be justice. It's not justice. It's stupidity. It's disgusting. By the office, I see some of the women try to act this way because they wanted to use this feminist light. It's so disgusting. They are so cowardly, this shit. They are so human. They are coward, low life. They deserve to die for what they're involved in. And for all races, try to come up with this nasty, fantasized reality. Talk about justice. They're involved in a program that's killing and torturing women all around the world. They know that very well. They get to hear it every day. They deserve to die. They will get theirs one way or another. And when I was in the office, I was listening to me interacting with the manager to where I used to work back in the. I was working there I started working there over 10 years ago. I have a conversation that I was recording, talking to a manager in 2018. These people destroy my life. That's the reason why whatever's going to happen to me, if I become a bum, it's because of them. Today, whoever I'm working for, they're just participants. It's already done. They want to join in to get the benefit out of utilizing me, who is a TI. It's already done. They put me in this program. Matter of fact, they're probably fighting over to who's going to be able to employ me so they can utilize me and benefit from participating in my targeting. So I started working with them, so they're the one who benefited. But I was already done. It was going to be there or a different company. And at the same time, while I'm there, their job is to destroy and make it hard for me to finish, like not even finish up, but just do the negative things for me to, of course, not find employment. Like they hire me to fire me, basically. But it was going to happen wherever else I was going, because I was put in this program by these people who I'm listening to the recording, talking to this manager, talking about him, about how, and where I used to work. It's very, the contrast between where I used to work to where I'm working today is a contrast. But that shows how people can be bought and opportunists. That's why I can't even stand listening to them. Because where I'm working today is very full of this. It's a diverse place, men, women, races of all country. Like it's, where I'm in New York City. And the place I work is very reflective of, at least it's definitely more than wherever I've been before. While where I was working, I was one of just maybe thousands in the corporate that was my race. Maybe in the whole office, there was 2,000 to 3,000, maybe 5 black people was working there. In-house. In the office. In my department, I was the only black man. Only one. And this, I think the size of the department I was in is close to the whole company that I'm working for right now. And I know that and I felt it immediately in my guts that I didn't belong here. And I should follow my guts, but I guess my ambition got the best of me, because I looked at it as like, okay, I can deal with that for a few years, then I'll get my experiences, and then I'll be able to get a job somewhere else. I just need to deal with that for now. I didn't have to. I could have kept looking. I didn't have responsibility, but because my ambition, I looked at this place as a corporate work. You get all kind of, I'm getting paid okay for just starting. I don't care too much. I don't have any financial needs at this point, in the sense that I'm living with the family. I'm very flexible in that sense. The pay is enough for now to start. I can, I don't have too much spending. But I was like, okay, I can go there, get some experiences. At that point, after 2-3 years, I'll be good. I can find any job anywhere else. But as soon as I got into the interview, I knew I had an interview with this guy. He's like, oh my gosh, I could feel it. My God's like, this is just too weird. Something's so weird here. I don't belong here. The way I look, the way these people look. Even I remember coming in, somebody just kind of looking, because the black guy just interviewed. I don't think I ever seen somebody else interview who was black in my department, who's in person in the office. But I knew that I didn't belong, but I stayed there. And the truth is, now I'm here because of them. and it was not a fun time. But now I'm here. I'm listening to me talking to this man, asking him, listen, this place, this, I'm hearing things about me that racial, racist, like, and maybe you should say something about it, and I'm trying to be very politically, not even politically, I'm trying to be very polite while I'm saying that. I'm trying to be very understanding of somebody who purposely acting this way. Well, I'm hearing myself try to just not make anybody uncomfortable, and try to address the maybe we should address that, not using, like, not saying racist things in that fashion, maybe, no matter what background you're from or culture, when it comes to this place, it's about work, and you should leave your whatever you think about life in behind, in that sense. I'm not here to change your point of view of the world. I don't care about that, but I just want to be able to work in the comfort here without feeling like I'm being degraded based on something that is just external, the way I look, the race, the whatever, where I'm from. So I'm saying this thing in such a, com- organized way, because I was prepping myself to say this thing. And I can hear this manager laughing, not laughing, but speaking, trying to maintain. But at the same time, I remember this man, he gave me let me just say how conservative. Listen, it doesn't matter what political position you're in life. I don't care. Matter of fact, if anything, today my eyes have opened to some other level to understand that there's compromised people in all sides. But at some point, I think right now I am more liberal, progressive individual. But I do understand why the country has turned into such a raid kind of ways of thinking, that even basic liberal things like the rights of, even abortion, you don't have to be for or against abortion, but I mean, it shouldn't be that hard, even especially in these circumstances, to have abortion right. You don't have to be like I'm sure most Republican do think that way. Not everybody's that conservative who's a Republican, but you got to that extreme because some people have made it look bad to be progressive and liberal, and and the psyops they've been using for me. A psyop, meaning the way they've been portraying themselves for me to believe that this is anything but this massive government, has been this like fierce, radical, femme fatale, BLM, all of that. And because the people who put me in this program are extremely conservative. I was gifted a MAGA hat just to annoy me. Right after I got my citizenship, when Trump was already the president in 2017. On July 3rd, 2017, I became a citizen. And when I go to the office a few weeks later, or a month later, they are aware that I got my citizenship. This manager that I just talked to, that I end up talking to later on, comes to me and gives me a MAGA hat. Now, there's nothing wrong with him being a Trump fan. There's nothing wrong with that. And I remember talking to him and recording the conversation in this minute. It's like, listen, I would rather be in a place where I don't want to be in a bubble. I like to work at this place because it is a difference from where I live. I live in a place very progressive, and I work at a place very conservative. It gives me the perspective that I need to know to make better judgment. Because a bubble can change perception. You get out of touch with reality. You think these people are like that. You think these people. So you start seeing things in different ways, in the wrong way usually. So having exposure of both bubble gives you a better understanding of life, of everything else. So I'm saying that. So it's like him being I don't care about that, but you gifting me that, you're just trying to say something. or try to annoy me or try to do something to agitate me, which is okay. I was not going to be mad. I don't care about how but that was something to just let you know, like, this is how bad it was. And this is how conservative they were, because no other places will ever allow that. But because I was working at a place where they're so conservative that this will do nothing. They donated so much money. And this is not it's a big company, but it's controlled by a few people. So you can read in between the lines. And so today, because I used to work for this company, and the reason why my life is destroyed, and they put me in this program, and race was a factor. It was a factor. Now they try to find ways. They even try to make me think, no, this is not a factor, this and that. Remember, she said that. She said, because listen, to hire me, they had to get the approval from the person all the way up. They don't care about having like a diversified work environment. They're not that. It's a company that don't need to do that. And on top of that, it's somewhere in middle of America. These requirements that you see, that this is not required there. They don't have to align to that. That's why they don't have that many diversity in this company. They don't abide by this thing. It's not a requirement for them. It's their company. They do whatever. They hire whoever they want. They cannot be forced to do anything in regard of who to hire. I was hired by the department, but they had to get approval. Who chose me was the person at the head of this company, who's definitely not going to be like, hey, we're going to hire him to have more black people in the office. Definitely not. Oh my gosh, she's the opposite of that. She's actually, she detests this. She detests like that, those places that try to get like a person. They don't do none of that. It's none of that. They detest that. Matter of fact, they donate money to combat that all places this thing are removed. But in their company, this is not something they even dare to even think about. It's disgusting to them. So I got hired. When they interview me, actually at that point I think they saw me. It's like, okay, that's good. Like our department don't even have one black guy, so maybe it kind of helps out a little bit, change the optics a little bit. At the department, at least I have one or two black guy. We have zero. Maybe that can help a little bit. So I can see that, like, okay, well, yeah, that we can work. The fact that it kind of helps too is that, we don't have anybody who's black, who's a man. So but definitely they wanted me out. I was not a good fit there. These people were just weird. I was just fresh out of college. They were just, ugh. So they put me in a program where they don't have to deal with me. It's not like they didn't have to put me in this program they could have fired me like that. It was done. I was too, like, just fresh out of college. What I would do with the entry-level position I had. But they really wanted to get rid of me completely. And they put me in this program. Now today I'm here. In this program, being used as a test subject. Wherever I go in the world, they'll follow me. And now today I'm here in New York City, working for this company. Diversity, all of that, about community. And they have these tactics. It's so psyopy. And they have these psyop tactics. When they do evil, they encourage each other. They start like try to be cool. Like, hey, demons, haha, guys, haha, because they're involved in a program that's diabolical. But they know torture women and children. But they want to be cool about being involved in that. That's why I start thinking, this is the mentality of this liberal progressiveness that have destroyed this Democratic Party. They think they can do evilness, but when they do it, it changes what it is. It's cool, it's badass. That's been turning off everybody off. Because these people are hypocrites. So you think that you can be involved in these horrible things, it changes what this is. It's badass. Or you're a darer. But when these people do these evil things, they're not evil, right? They are evil. But they're not darers. They're cowards. No, trash, you're a coward of life, opportunist of life. And even worse than these people who open up saying, yeah, we do that, it's evil. God gave, it's going to come back to us one day, but yes, we torture women and children. That's what this program does. That's that. Then be involved in this and be like, oh, but we're daring evil. That's the kind of work environment I mean. There's a lot of the perps around me try to think that they are now, this is justice, it's justice, involved in a program that is killing so many. Even children and women are being impacted by it, destroyed, slowly killed. The evilness involved in is the most facilitated evil, because this is a program like this by these governmental entities that are developing weapon system that can do so much damage to your body and to your mind remotely. Children can partake in this, and it's so easy. But now they try to make themselves believe, now this is our evil. You are nothing. You are not. You are nothing. You're a speckle in this. You're not more. This the dirt in my pots here are worth more than you. You're nothing. You can be replaced in a quadruple millisecond. You are nothing. It's not your evil. You're just a small little speck that's being utilized for that. The evil is the evil that's torturing women and children. That's the one I mean. That's the evil that's doing that to me. Your evil, if this trash want to connect to their evil consists of torturing men, women, and children all around the world. And they use these retards, this cowardness of human shit. And I go to the office, and they have even empowered this childlike individual. And so if you go see my last, I have a video of this. This is so sad. They're having kids pretending they're getting raped. You're going to see this woman who looks so disgusting to me. She almost looked like a corpse. And I'm like 2 seconds away to say something nasty to her. Yesterday, she was trying to say, now you're going to jail. And I look at you, like, you're a piece of fucking shit, you nasty opportunist fuck. You look like a fucking corpse. I'd rather be dying in hell than live like you. You will get yours, you fucking shit. Stop trying to say that you're avenging anybody. This program is destroying and killing thousands of women and men and children. You're involved in that because you get benefit and opportunities from that. Stop trying to act like you talk about justice. Where's the justice for what you're involved in that's destroying the children and the women in this program, you fucking low life? You're an opportunist, and then try to make it look like it's just and you deserve to die. You're lucky I'm not somebody who's capable of killing, like some target individuals. For all who have died in this program and who have died because target individuals lost their mind and caused mass shootings. You nasty, disgusting trash. From the bottom of my heart, you will get yours. I tell you that, and you will see it. I read the go see now. It's funny. She tells me because my brain is being destroyed as they're being rewiring my brain. And they tell me I'm going to go see now, which I understand because they are damaging my brain on top of manipulating my brain. And I'm looking at you, and I look at this woman. It's like you look like you already seen that. You're not. She has this weird face, like kind of mouth always kind of open. It's like, you're disgusting trash. But you'll get yours. Whatever torture I'm going to go through, because the torture, you hear target individual getting torture all the time using this weapon system, and horrible things happen to them. So for me, because I put the reality what they are, they want to create a theatric torture. They're going to cut my fingers, they're going to do this, and that's like, whatever I'm going to go through is not going to erase what you're involved in. For all the women that suffer. You'll see, I was somewhere, there was a group of 3 ladies trying to talk, for brainy, you don't give a damn about this woman. You are just saying them because you want to be an opportunist in this program. Enjoy what you get out of that. You're involved in a program, so many women dying and suffering. All of a sudden you think I'm going to look at you like, yes, they're avenging. Trash. You're an opportunist. You're just an opportunist, sorry. You're an opportunist. You're seeing the benefits. You want to partake in this benefit, but you try to look fierce, involved in a program that is doing so much horrible things. And I'm going to think, oh, no, it's you 3 ladies and this company here doing this. It's not this global, international, massive program that is global. That these people put me in. And I'm looking at this shit. It's like, that's justice for all these women who've died, suffered, screamed in pain, been tortured in this program that you're involved in. You deserve to fucking die. I hate the fact that you're trying to negate that and project this false facade of what this is about. And then walk with fierceness. Don't fierce. You're lucky I'm not a killer. Do that to somebody who's capable of killing you. They will stab you up. They will shoot you down. And then get shot down by the cops. But because I'm not this capable man of doing that. Those kids that got shot, some of them died from these mass shootings. And you're trashy ass walking like you're just some badass. Talk about justice. The justice for all who've lost their life had nothing to do with this. It's so nasty. But you'll see that in you'll see a video, and I'll have to take time and make this video. You have to see in real time, because as they manipulate my brain in this way, make me experience, it's clearly that my brain is altered. This is what it's all about. This is why people are so willing to be compromised, no matter what vertical of industry they're in. It's human control. Do you understand how intoxicating this thing can be? That you can control a brain to have any kind of emotions, reaction, sensation, stimulation, thought process that you want. That's what these trash are compromisers start making. It's like, now we're done it for just now, you're not. And you see these people, and you're going to hear the clear abilities of this technology. And they try to use this word, now we're mapping, we're mining, nasty trash. And so for me, they forced me to have sexual stimulation toward the little ones to the older kids. Now, the babies are obviously the worst. The little kids, the little girls is the worst. From the babies to the little toddler girls, where they're like, no, that was match, nah. And then they start saying, Sarah, trash ass. There's a woman called Sarah that was presenting before I saw this kid. And there's this little girl. And it's like, yeah, Sarah, and they go back to memory what they falsified when I'm 13 years old. It's like, now we mapped it down to that. You're just a 13-year-old trash. These disgusting retards. It's like, yeah, okay, you're making me mentally retarded. That's what you're saying. And it's falsified memories to way to create your thing. So now this is our research. Trash us. Yeah, I'm looking at these people. It's like, yeah, you're dumb. You're a piece of shit to think I'm gonna let you live your fantasy. Let's just say the name of this place is called Green Place. Green Plant. Do I think is some kind of producer at this Green Plant place doing that to me? Their research. What the delusional trash. And they really saying, now we just did our research and we saw this thing, it was in your brain. We mapped your brain now. You are altering the brain. You are changing my brain. For me to have these experiences, you are making me experience something that organically, naturally will not be experienced unless my brain is being altered. And you know that very well, you're nasty trash. And then try to gaslight me to make me accept you of these manipulations. Then try to say, no, what we're doing to your brain is basically we're making you experience what you've experienced when you were a kid. So we're just matching. Disgusting retards. To make me acceptive of how they forced me to get sexual stimulation toward these children. That's the stimulation you used to have when you were a kid. With mad bad. Nasty. And the mental battles and the mental ways of forcing me to think. And plus the psyop of these fears, and they try when they just coward their life. Doing all this evilness while deluding themselves in this fantasized reality. It's nasty. So I'll make a video of that. But yesterday I was watching, like I said, they forced me to get sexual stimulation toward the babies and toward obviously the older kids, which is not as bad, because at that point these older kids start to resemble more like adults, right? At least young adults. Which as a young adult, you can definitely, I can look at a young adult in ways that sexual, if that young adult look a certain way, right? And if you can I look at a 20-some-year-old in sexual ways, if she looks, of course I can look at, of course I can see them in that fashion, but that's not my preference. I prefer people older than me or my age. But since they can do that to the little kids, the older kids, now they can play my brain even worse, because some of them is like on the border. Like, you don't know if they're like young adult or teenage kids. So yesterday, because I'm watching the inauguration now, like going back to the company who destroyed my life, they donate so much money for things to turn the way they turn. Not only they give it at a federal level, but they also give it to, in regard of like the state level. And the state they in was an important state, and they have donated so much money. They're not the richest donors, but they are the top of the donors. There's donors who have billions of dollars more than them, but they would spend more than them in politics. They have that much influence. They are way more dedicated than a lot of these billionaires. They are billionaires, of course, but they're not like hundreds of billions like, Bezos. But they're donating almost as much as some of them. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the list, with some of the people who have hundreds of billions of dollars. So they dedicate their money, their wealth, into donating money to the extreme conservative right. Their dedication, their investment is immense. And they try to manipulate Bezos, change into something, the things that try to make me, it's still nasty. But these people who destroy my life have won in majestic level, while these trash are excited about how I'm going to be framed by a child. In my last video, and I'll make a video to see how pathetic those. I went down to the lobby. I have a body camera for a reason. There was this kid, teenager. Oh, it was so pathetic. It's beyond sad. She had a bunch of makeup put on her lips, and she got like things around it, look like, ugh. And it was obviously, she almost looked like a prostitute, but she wasn't. It was just a child. You know how like prostitutes try to, but it was just a child trying to pass for an adult. It was nasty, because I can tell, you're a teenage kid, and you don't even know how to apply makeup and stuff. You can see it doesn't even look okay. It just looks weird, and it's so nasty. In my brain, they try to create a mental battle, because there's a woman I've been with that they wish that was underage, because she said she presented herself as a 19-year-old, which she was. Well, I think she's even older, to be honest. But they try to have the mental battle. Oh, that woman didn't have makeup on and stuff. It's like they create a story. But this was a child. You could tell the way she was just like, and the way she's not used to putting, they told her to do that, and she's trying to look more like an adult. It looks so pathetic. She got big joke cheeks, and then oh God, you shouldn't be. Stop. It was so sad. Look at the video, you'll see one picture. That's her. And I had the body cam. She's scared to look at me first. She kind of look, and then she try, and then she look back again. And I have that on camera. Just know, try to wait. When I'm looking away, she looks again. Nasty. And these people at work said, they're gonna frame you like that, and you're gonna go in jail. They're gonna rape you. Yeah, they're gonna rape me after you have a child pretending to get raped. Basically, you're willing to sacrifice these retards of children. Have your child stand over there the way this child was standing over. You will not. You will never. You're a nasty low life. Have kids are pretending. Look at they're fucked in life now. Your kids are gonna be fine. These kids are dying forever. They have that on them. Unfortunately, your kids, their parents don't give a fuck. Watching me suffer, what does he do to this kid? These trash are nasty. They wanted to enjoy and participate in this, living a fantasy as reality. I will not let them live the fantasy. And all these people at work, you're gonna serve. It's I'm gonna serve because you're gonna implant child porn, or you're gonna have a child pretend they get raped. You nasty low life. These people are trash, and they know the entities running this program. empowering them are entities filled with pedophiles, and they know that very well because they have to eat the reality of that. On top of that, now you have children pretending to get raped, and then you saying that you're going to plant children getting raped on my computers. And that's the fierceness about this. Working for a program that torture women and children, knowing the program is ran by governmental entities where child pornography has been an issue consistently. And you talk about implanting children getting raped on my computer as badass, and they're like, nah, but what you did to Courtney and Brittany, that was rape. It was like, you are involved in a program that rapes women systematically. You nasty lowlife. They deserve to die. Rape is a tool in this program, and they have tortured so many using rape women. And I'm going to let you live that fantasy, an opportunist like you. Why? Because you're a woman? You don't give a damn about Brittany or Courtney. Because if you did give a damn, you will not be involved in a program that is raping women so much all around the world and act like, oh, I'm doing it for them. Brittany is living her best life. I was making sure to say that's like, yo, I talked to this woman because you're acting like you're doing it for her. That's why this opportunist. And I wish I could find Courtney. But they even made me imagine that I had a child with her. This is disgusting retard. Just to live that fantasized reality. And they are burning vaginas of women. I will never let this trash live their fantasy. You deserve to die. Because you are here talking about justice when you're involved in a program that burn vaginas and torture women and cause mass shootings. And act like nah, but it's just, nah, that's different. That's going to be our evil. Here, no. You're involved in a program that does this evil. You cannot do any single evil to me of that nature unless you're involved in the evil that torture babies and women. And I know you're just a nothing. You're just an opportunist who thought the psyops, the visual of you being a woman was going to negate the reality. So to wrap up this, I was like I said, they stimulated me toward all kids, from the babies to the older kids. Yesterday I was watching the inauguration, which when I think of the inauguration of Trump winning, I'm like, wow, the people who destroyed my life truly are the winners in this whole thing, big time winners. Watch 2025, watch the rest of the year, how things are going to be. While this trash out here try to paint this false reality, I'm looking at the people who destroyed my life and how they're so successful. They even donated money to these rioters at the Gen 6. All the Gen 6 people over there, they've been... Trump has, released most of them. Some of them accused to be anti-Semite. They're making me mention some disrespectful thing about, like, Orthodox Jews. Because there was some Orthodox... This guy who said some terrible things about Orthodox Jews. It made me think, oh, yeah, they smell bad. It's like, how do I know? I never... Try to make me think in this way. Try to create thought process. No, but you see, maybe they're not allowed to use deodorants. Like, I never smell anything. You just try to make me imagine that. While the people who put me in this program donated money to these rioters, and today, watch successful Trump release them. Well, this trash trying to make me imagine some stuff like that. Nasty. And so in the inauguration, there was the son of Trump and there's the granddaughter. They were trying to mess with me. I swear I had to I have recording. They tried to make me think the granddaughter is only 17, but she's like, I thought she was 16, 17. She's a kid, but it's a kid getting closer to adulthood. And I actually thought the son was older. I thought it was like 19. He's only 18. So two very young people, one a child, one just barely an adult. But they start creating perception toward this girl. I have a picture. And of course, like I said, they do that to the babies, the little ones. To the older kids, it's going to be easier at that point. We're getting closer to adulthood. So my thought process is perceive these kids more like adults, like maybe young adults. And create stimulations, which is okay. I've looked at the 20-some-year-old and be like, okay, yeah, wow, good, This girl, the 17-year-old, they try to do the same thing. And like, but you think she's pretty good for her, yeah. It's like, and to the point where it's like, when she gonna grow up, you think she's okay, what she goes for, but today she's a child. Look at her, that's a kid. I don't care about how she's gonna look at. What does it? You're making me experience this perception today because she's a kid. Whatever she's gonna look in the future, good for her. But try to create this thought process. I was like, I don't care about these kids. Then I'll see her then. But you're making me have this perception toward this kid today in these ways, sexual, for me to look at her in a sexual way. You're forcing me to look at her sexually. And they try to go back into the Billie Eilish, the way they put the guys. Like, no, I don't care about this kid's. I don't care about her. You're making me perceive her sexually because she's a child. And they're trying to make me have these mental battles, try to find, like I said, today they make me have this sexual stimulation toward children of all ages. And so when it comes to teenagers, they try to piece things together to create a pattern of some sort. They're like, nah, but in 2014, you follow this girl who I thought she was an adult, Ocean, right? You see this video a lot. I swear to God, today I have a picture of her when she's like, a teenager, not an adult yet. She looks so much older. It's impossible to think that she was an adult. It's one of these people who look way, way older than the age. Matter of fact, today as an adult, in her mid to late 20s, she looks the same. If not a little bit, even almost younger, because she now works and you can see she takes care of her face and the skin. But you will think it's exactly the same. Or even like she's a little older. You would think that, that picture was taken yesterday. A rough day yesterday or something like that. You wouldn't even know. And so me today, I was in my 20s, the age that she is today, and I'm looking at her, it's like, okay, she's like a young adult. Finding out now she was, it's like, what? And that's one of these cases where this person is just look way older than her age. Make you think that she's an adult. So they use that like that as proof. You see, attracted. Because I thought this person, I said, no, I obviously can see this a kid. Or really, like, yeah, teenagey, like. And then they start going, oh, no, but I remember I used to go to that nightclub. I started going there when I was 18 years old. Almost 20 years ago. It's crazy. And if you look at me when I say almost 20 years ago, it's crazy. It's just, and by the way, this is the kid I'm talking about. And I took multiple pictures because in some angles she looked harder to see how much of a child she looked like. And some other angle you clearly see that that's a teenage kid, like 16, 17. Let's just see. So this is how it started. I'm seeing her. They try to make her chest bigger. I swear to God. I was like, yeah, look, 16, 17. She look her age. Sure. And this here, oh my gosh. And they try to stimulate me when I'm looking through this here. It's just crazy. And they try to, because they try to make me look at her shape in this sexual way. She's a baby, and they stimulate me. So nasty. And this is now you start seeing her very much like a kid here. Look at this. Here, like, there's no even, they can't even do anything to try to stimulate me. Here, they try to stimulate me, try to make me look at her body in this sexual way. Ugh. Oh my gosh! But the face, thank God, you can't be fooled by this baby face. But they do that throughout the whole time. And here, because she's on the side here, you can't even see. Like the corner from this angle, it's not that easy to see. There you could be confused a little bit, but she looked like her age. She obviously looked like a child. Like here is the obviousness. Here, obvious teenager looking. And then here, what they try to do is make me look at her body in this sexual way. But when you see that, her face can be fooled. But stimulating me toward the granddaughter, who's 17 years old. Now, it's weird to say this, but they do that to the babies. You'll see a video of these little girls that they do that to. Little babies. So a kid that's closer to adulthood is getting easier for them to manipulate, because at this point they just make me see them like I would look at a woman. Try to make me look at their body in the sexual, especially when she was dancing. Like you can see, she's just like a kind of awkward, like lengthy kid. Try to make me look at her. It's like, oh, but she got curves. Like she's a teenage kid, and you're just making me perceive her like that, because you can do that to little kids. So an older kids, it's gonna be easier, because at that point she started resembling like a little more like a woman, even though in this case they're just kind of pushing my brain to think this way. But the face, thank God, just kind of put things back in perspective helps. So I will never identify with this. Until I die, I will never let them live the fantasy. Target individuals stay strong and never identify. This trash will get theirs. They will die the way they need to die. Do not harm this low life, even though they deserve to be harmed. Stay strong.